G'day guys, welcome back to NMF Podcast. I'm here joined with Snaggy. How are you?
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm fresh and hydrated.
Fresh and hydrated. I am not.
Yes.
It's too fucking early. But today
Too early to drink water.
It is hydrate, boys. Hydrate, like Patrick 2C says. Anyway, boys, we'll be doing a Metro Booming 2023 updated tier list. And the 7 albums we've got today are Savage Mode 2, Without Warning. What else do you have, Snaggy?
We have Double or Nothing. We have
Ooh.
Metro's not newest album, but second newest
All Words
album.
Wear Capes. Yeah.
Not all, yep. And then we have his newest release off the new Spider-Man movies soundtrack. Then we have Not All Heroes Wear Capes. And then finally we have Perfect Timing.
Yeah, we're not including 19 and Boomin because 19 and Boomin was not fucking yet, okay?
Yeah, that's moving on. All
Okay,
right, so to start off with, Savage Mode.
Savage Mode.
First, the original Savage Mode. Where would you place this? I'm curious.
I was never really into Savage Mode. It's more of like to me, it's like a one-hit wonder type of playlist. Like that's how 21 got into the industry. It's not like the whole album's like a Travis Scott aspect to it. It's not like it's all got 100 million, 200 million streams per song. It's like there's one or two songs compared to the rest of his songs and albums where he's got a very consistent bass.
Well, I'm not 100% sure. I'm on Spotify. It gives you how
I've got it up right now. Yeah,
but if I'm not mistaken, I believe 21 Savage's Issa album released before. It was in the same year, but it released before this album came out. Or I might be wrong about, or it might be the other way around. But
other way around.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah. Like you've got songs like X and No Heart, which when they first released weren't necessarily that big.
But those were the two biggest songs.
They were the two biggest songs of the album.
As well as I'll mention Ocean Drive and then No Advance are two other bangers off of that album. Me personally, there's no double S on this one. I would personally rank it high B, low A, just because, as you said, like they're like 2-3 really good songs, but the rest was just like the rest was average. But those 2 or 3 songs got him into
the way we need to look at this here is what I re-listened to this album.
So I'll give it a B.
And the re-listen value in this album, it's there. It really is there. I don't think there's a single Metro Boomin album that isn't above B.
Or isn't below,
Or isn't below B, sorry, yeah.
Below B, yeah. Now me personally, I loved Savage Mode 2. There are a couple of songs that were like, I don't have this on my playlist, but I would say 8 out of let's say if there are 10 songs on the album, 8 out of 10 songs. 80% of the albums on my playlist. Songs like No All Left Behind and then Brand New Draco. Those are my 2 favorites off the album. You also got Mr. Right Now featuring Drake. Absolute. Yeah. And then the intro song, I'm not sure if there's the intro, Runnin'.
Yeah, I think so.
When I heard that, bro, I was like, that was a bang. I personally would put this in A tier.
No, I would definitely put it in S tier, to be honest. This is one of my favorite 21 Savage albums of all time. You've got
high him, A, low S is where I put it.
You've got him experimenting with different things that we've seen previously on his I Was which is Rest in Peace, Love. You've also got songs like Said and Done. You've got Many Men. You can't really go wrong with Many Men. He's one of the few rappers that have done Many Men. You've got Running, Glock on My Lap, Mr. Right Now with features of Drake, Rich Fella Shit, Sliding. Like it's just like a sliding. And then you put it all together with Metro Booming's production and the Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, now that you've actually reminded me of a few sliding, a couple songs in there, I would back it in S.
Like even the lowest streaming song can be considered as his best song on the album.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just how it's the same way as the Travis Scott aspect that I was talking about before with Savage Mode 1, where you didn't really see that.
Right.
But this album's got that much versatility. I'll put it S tier.
I would actually. Songs I forgot
about. Especially with the production on this one.
Oh yeah. Well,
compared to the first one.
Metro is the Beethoven of modern rap. Hot take. Anyway, moving on.
We've
Without
got
Warning.
with
Oh,
the
now
last 21 Savage album
what?
of today. It's the last 21 Savage album.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, thanks for specifying. Now, me personally, when I think of Without Warning, I think mentally I go through every single song and I'm like, banger, 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 bang. Yep, S tier. This album comes up, my mind is instantly S tier, no questions asked. I don't think I could name you a bad song off of this album.
Mm.
I really cannot.
Mm.
I guess yeah, if it depends on what you like. I think though, I think what was it, Nightmare? I think if I remember correctly, Nightmares was the song that I liked the least, and it was still a banger. I like with the transition because it transitioned from one song to another. I would put this in S every day of the week.
Yeah, as if you would listen to because we are focusing on Metro Boomin's production on all of these albums.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to any of his newer albums that aren't necessarily Savage Mode 1 or Perfect Timing, I think this was the first album where you could really hear the crossfading between songs on his albums. This is where you really the transitions between them. This is when you really first heard it. You can hear him on his new albums like Not All Heroes Wear Capes, the new Spider-Man album.
Savage Mode 2 even had a couple of transitions.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it's just it brings out the classics that we need.
Yeah, and this album was produced Ric Flair, Drip, Darth Vader. There's one other
X.
No, that wasn't on.
Yeah.
Without Warning.
Oh no, that's so much. I'm so dumb.
Yeah, no, but this album has produced absolute
Ghostface Killers.
Go, that's the one.
Rap Saved Me.
Legendary. Put it an S. Why is it an A?
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
This guy. who let him do a podcast, huh? God. Okay, moving on. Now, this album in particular, I didn't really listen to all that much. There was one song with 21 Savage, Pull Up and Wreck. Absolute classic. I loved it. But as an album as a whole, I didn't really give this one. This one wasn't on my playlist or in my rotation as often or as much as the other albums on this list. What about you? Where'd you play this?
See, this album hasn't been in my rotation since its release, but the last probably year and a half, I've finally got around to listening to Big Sean, and it's just it's that album, bro. I don't know if I put it in anything past B tier, but yeah, it could be a C tier realistically. But if you listen to the production, the whole all of Yum, it's B.
Yeah. Now I would definitely put it. Even though I haven't listened to it in a while, I'd put it definitely undoubtedly at B. When I think about it, it's like, okay, well, I listened to more songs off of Savage Mode than Double or Nothing. So you could think of it like that. Okay, well then Savage Mode is higher than Double or Nothing. But me personally, I would put Savage Mode where it is, and then I'd put like Double or Nothing behind it, still in B tier, just lower in B tier. So that's what I feel.
Yeah, I can back that. Next album we've got is Not All Heroes Wear Capes. Is that right? Yeah, it is.
Yep. What was the other one then? What was the one he released back in like 2018 of Christmas?
Not All Heroes Wear Capes.
So then what's this one I have up here?
Oh, this is Heroes and Villains. My bad.
Okay, I was about to say.
I thought I had it the other way around.
Nah, so So this one personally, it released last Christmas. I would put this at an S. Me personally, I would put this again.
Production wise, 100%.
The production.
This blew my mind.
Yeah,
it genuinely blew my mind. I was listening
to this. Rollout for it was unbelievable. It was not like nothing I've ever seen before.
Yeah,
for an artist or even a producer.
You've got songs like Raindrops. We finally heard Niagara Falls. Walk 'em Down, even though it was a bit sloppy, but
Mustafa
Creeping has almost got a million. It depends. Mustafa, it depends on the mood. You got Creeping, he's almost got 1 billion. You've got Superhero, that's on like 400. You've got Too Many Nights, Raindrops. Even John Legend with the performance at the start.
Yeah, the whole thing. It was
Build a Fire. That's in rotation constantly. Still,
I feel like it was just such a big like event for the end of the year. It was just a powerful way to round it off with music. This is just one of those albums that I feel like has just kind of solidified itself in the
Yeah.
history of classics.
Mm.
So
Following that
definitely S
album,
tier.
there was then leading to a lot more hype in the industry, which is where the
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2 soundtrack came through.
yeah,
With this album, it had the features, it had the production and the beats, but it just wasn't there.
yeah.
You could tell it wasn't there when you've got people in the industry saying Coil Ray had the best song on the album.
Yeah, that was that hurt.
Like it, I won't lie, the songs on my rotations, but the problem is when that's the only song on my rotation currently. That album I've listened to twice probably,
uh-huh.
and haven't touched it again.
Yeah,
Generally haven't touched it again. Apart from Link Up, which was done to Oliver, Wizkid, and Beam.
mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I've gone back to. It's just it's there, but it's not. Maybe if we give it more time, it might go up a bit. But I'm putting it in
Maybe,
C right now.
maybe. Yeah, I back
Um,
that mainly because I feel like, yeah, as you said, the production, the features are there. But maybe it's just because it's the soundtrack to a movie, so he couldn't maybe work with it as like freely as he wanted to with the artists, or like there was a
maybe
certain like guidelines or expectations for the movie, which like hindered. Because there's, as you can see, there's undoubtedly Metro Boomin, the features he puts on.
you've got Uzi, Don Toliver,
Yeah,
Rocky,
like
21 Savage, Nas.
yeah,
Like
like
you got Jid Offset, Future. Like
I feel like maybe in a sense it was almost too much. Like maybe
mm.
you know like with
Especially after
dialing back a bit.
Heroes and Villains,
Oh yeah,
especially after that.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I'd back it and see again. It's not like a bad album. Production's there, features are there. It's just it's not on my playlist.
mm.
It's not something I'm listening to on a daily basis.
Now to an album that is in our playlist, I can guarantee this is not all Heroes for Capes.
Hundred percent.
And today we're talking about the deluxe edition.
Deluxe.
Um,
Okay.
so that's bonus tracks of No Complaints.
Yep.
Including the instrumentals, which you can go to listen to any single one of Metro Boomin's albums, and you can get the instrumentals. It's pretty fucking cool from a
Yeah.
producer standpoint.
Oh yeah. Now this one, when it first came out, I loved. Don't Come Out the House with 21 Savage. Is just that was a time period for itself. That really just it was when it came out. It was the hype of the town. I feel like it was really the top of the industry.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if this album has aged as well as when you compare to like Without Warning. I feel like that's personally a pretty flawless album. Not All Heroes Wear Capes is a definitely great album. But
I would compare this album to modern day Hero versus Villains.
yeah,
It's that the way this album was released was the same way as Heroes and Villains.
mm-hmm,
It's got the same sound to Heroes and Villains.
mm-hmm.
But it just doesn't have that oomph. Like Heroes and Villains has already smashed the numbers of Not All Heroes Wear Capes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Which just gets me more excited for the next projects he's got in the future. Because if he increasingly ups his projects more and more, just
Yeah.
it's yeah.
But I will say I like this album better, and I listen to this album more so.
Hmm.
What is this? What is
Just,
Spotify?
I don't know.
I will say I would put it an A because it's above Double or Nothing for me, above Savage Mode, but not quite on S tier.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
perfect timing. Me personally, I love the handful of tracks off of this album. Nav, you could argue, oh well, he just says the same thing. He's auto tune too much, mumble rapper.
Mm.
I don't know what your guys' opinions are on Nav. I don't mind it personally. I feel like if you can flow over a beat nice with the production of someone like Metro Boomin, it's a fire track. And with some of I didn't even know the album existed until like a year or two after it was already out because I saw it. I heard like on a YouTube video, some guy talking about Metro.
That's just how Nav is, though. To be honest, you just don't really. You don't see when he releases, but when you find it, it's like okay, I see.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with
And 100%.
Demons Protected by Angels. You just I
Yeah.
didn't. It released. It's like a little pump album. It just drops.
it just
it just drops, man.
It's a surprise. But I would definitely say that Metro's production on this album carries. But I would, me personally, I would put it in low A, high B.
Oh, really? I wouldn't put it that high. I would put it behind Bitch.
No, I would honestly, I'd put it in A.
In A.
When I'm thinking
I don't
about
think
it,
it's better than Savage Mode.
when
It's
I
not
think
better
of
than
like,
Savage
okay,
Mode.
this song from this album is in my
It's
playlist
either
in
you're
my
moving Savage
rotation.
Mode up and putting him at the top of B, or that's it. It's either that if you want it in front of B, but it's not better than Savage Mode. You could do that, but it's just not better than Savage Mode.
No, I think move Savage Mode up to A behind Not All Heroes Wear Capes. I like that.
And that's the final thing. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. Leave in the comments what you think about our tier list and what tier list we should do next. If you guys are watching on TikTok, make sure to follow, like, save it.
Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, I don't think that's how TikTok works.
Your favorite
social security number. Make sure to
that's
only your favorite one though, guys.
Only your favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll catch you. How often are we doing this? I don't even know. Next week, next month, year, whenever.
You'll see.
We'll surprise you like a Nav album. you won't know what's coming.
As soon as this video gets posted, at the end of this video, you will see the same thing we do in every episode, which is what we have planned for next week. So we're doing weekly episodes currently, which is including podcasts, interviews. So we're doing fortnightly interviews for the next 2 months, I believe, in launch, and then we're doing weekly episodes like this. So
yes, sir.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. See you.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, guys. Fucking on my ass, we ain't apologize. Cause I'm way too young and you always right. Threw it in my face, I'm on another